Friends, hello everyone, you are on Borisov TV channel and today we have an unusual issue. Today I will show not only how to properly prepare this or that dish, but also how to correctly choose the ingredients for this dish. As you understood from the title of this video, I will be cooking pasta with mushrooms, garlic and chili. Watch carefully to understand all the nuances without skipping anything. Well, I will show in my turn what I pay attention to when choosing products, what is a red line for me and what is absolutely not allowed to take. Before we begin, please subscribe and like this video to show your interest and help it reach more people. I can take both a large mushroom and a mini champignon, and even royal champignons are present here. Since champignons do not have a very pronounced taste, I use dried white mushrooms as a spice. And how this will look, I will show in the recipe itself. And what I like is that there is a huge selection of pasta products here. There are lasagna sheets, spaghetti, penne, and fusilli here. And what's maximally convenient, there are large packages that last for a long time. The next ingredient of our dish is parmesan. I always take grated parmesan because it's convenient to use. And you need just a little bit of it. Chives, it's also a scallion. It's very good for decoration because unlike standard green onions, it has a subdued taste. We've smoothly moved to the shelf with cream cheese. Many people get confused at this stage and take margarine. And then they wonder why this or that dish doesn't work out. I advise you to carefully read the name of the ingredient and look at the fat content. I take medium fat. For the thickness of the pasta sauce, we need yolks. We take a carton of eggs. As for spices, I prefer to take large packages. First of all, it's well sealed. That is, nothing gets blown away. Then a large volume is much more profitable than small packets, and it's convenient to use to sprinkle through these openings, or in large volume. Well, we're already in the studio to prepare pasta from the ingredients we bought at Metro. First thing I do is put a pot with a large amount of water to boil the pasta. And while the water is boiling, I'll prepare the mushrooms. Today I will be cooking with white button mushrooms. I'll be cutting them in half, and they will lay beautifully and texturally in the dish. Well, we're sending the mushrooms into the pot. We're filling it with water. And we rinse off the external dirt. I see soil, in my opinion, peels and pieces of grass. We rinse the mushrooms until the water is clear. We lay out the mushrooms on a towel and dry them. I will cut small champignons in half and larger ones into 4 parts, and they will be approximately the same size. In any case, it's not worth chopping the mushrooms because they shrink a lot in size. You need to remember this. The water has boiled. Let's generously salt it. We open the package and pour it in. We stir immediately so the pasta doesn't stick to the bottom. In today's recipe, I'm using shells. I like these pasta dishes. And what about boiling? The package says 30 minutes. I'll boil for 10 so that it can simmer for a few more minutes on the stove and so that the pasta absorbs as much flavor as possible from our filling. We're heating the pan to maximum heat. A little vegetable oil, and as soon as there's a slight smoke, I reduce the heat to maybe 4 or 5 out of 10 and start frying. And mushrooms. Remember, I bought dried white mushrooms at the store and said I would use them as a spice, as a seasoning. White mushrooms have a very rich taste, so now I'm going to grind them into a powder and then I'll sprinkle it on the pasta during the cooking process. And these same mushrooms will give me an additional flavor. We grind it with a blender. We set the ground mushroom aside. The skillet is already heated and we are ready to saute the mushrooms. Saute the mushrooms for 30 seconds without touching them. By the way, I don't recommend salting the mushrooms either because they lose moisture very quickly and salt contributes to the additional extraction of this very moisture. A crust is already forming on the mushrooms, which means we're on the right track. We'll roast the mushrooms for a couple of more minutes, add a little salt, and then remove them from the heat. In the meantime, I'm preparing the garlic. I'll need a couple of cloves. I'm going to chop it finely. This garlic will go into the main dish. We transfer it to a plate. We will need the mushrooms a little bit later. And right now, I'm adding 30 grams of butter directly into this pan. Also a bit of vegetable oil. I'm slicing some chili pepper. I literally need 3 to 4 rings. We also finely chop the garlic. And you friends, write in the comments which sauce you like the most with pasta. We send the garlic and chili to the frying pan. Let them open up on a very low heat. Oh, I can already smell the aroma of garlic. pour a small amount of liquid into the glass. Add it to the skillet. Here's the chopped white mushroom. Let it unfold. Stir it. We get 2 yolks. We need them to bind all the sauce in the pasta so we don't take any white. We send the pasta to the skillet. Next come the mushrooms. We stir. Pay attention, all the water has gone. We add the yolk. Turn off the heat. Again, liquid from the pasta water. And mix well. In the process, I realized that I don't have enough Parmesan, so I add more. Do you hear the sound of delicious pasta? And again, our water has gone somewhere. And this water goes into the pasta, enriching it with additional flavors. This onion, very finely chopped, has a more subtle flavor, and it's also simply beautiful and decorates a lot of different dishes. Maybe you remember the mouse ratatouille, how he decorated his dish with the same, essentially finely chopped onion. We transfer it to a serving dish. Oh, how the cheese has melted and stretched. It needs to be eaten quickly. A little bit of freshly ground. And sprinkle onions on top. Well, shall we try so that the sauce doesn't get stale? I take both the pasta and the mushrooms right away. The sauce is very rich, but I would add a little more broth to catch a bit of moisture. You can taste the mushrooms. You can taste this richness from the white mushrooms and a light sharpness, a slight aftertaste that I really like. And why I took the shells, the sauce also pours inside them and stays, and they become even more delicious. But as delicious as this is, I don't force you to take my word for it, so it's better to cook it yourself and see. And on that note, I have to say goodbye. I thank you for watching. Be sure to like this video and share it with your friends. And don't be afraid to experiment. Bye.